Hello, teachers. Greetings. Let's try and make our classrooms more colorful, engaging, and collaborative using yet another PBL, PBL number 6 for grade 7. The chapter that it has been mapped with is Nest with Grandparents. In this PBL, we will be covering a concept called the family tree, and yes, kinship names indefinitely. The title details will help you understand the PBL number, the grade, and the chapter that it has been mapped with. And then we move on to the concepts covered, the learning outcomes they have been mapped with in our DSCRT documents, and the learning objective that we will be covering and achieving through this particular module. And so, to cover the concept of family trees and kinship names, our learning objective is quite simple. Introduce the process of building structures and the vocabulary of different materials used. Here, we start with a spark curiosity thinking question, like, can you name all the family members in your family tree? Like mother, father, sister, brother, etc. This will set the context for the learners. Next, we move on to the introductory activity, where in activity 1, the learners are introduced to the concept of what a family tree is, that it is a chart that includes all the family members and the connections between them. Next, we will have a short story that the learners will be required to read and answer the following questions. This will help the learners understand the terminologies in English for family relationships. And once we have done that, in activity 3, there's something a little more interesting, a kinship list. A whole chart is provided for the learners to decode, wherein all the mother side of the family and the father side of the family are given names in their native language like Mava, Sodarate, and the equivalent English words are also given such as uncle and aunt. This will help the learners understand how English vocabulary can be used for their family relationships. And yes, we will also move on to the section where the learners are required to fill in the details of their families themselves. This is a writing practice. Since family is a very familiar topic, and since the vocabulary has been provided a while ago in the previous activities, this should be quite simple for the learners. Once they have completed each of these, we move on to activity number 4, where the learners are required to do something very interesting, collect photos of their family members and stick it in this family tree. Applying learning after all. And to the creative expression bit, where the learners are required to draw a family tree on their own and present it to the class. They needn't be accurate in getting the features or the face right, but just getting the pictures into this box and talking about it will help the learners feel the excitement around the topic. And yes, they get the opportunity to introduce themselves and their family, their cousins, through writing and through sketching. Self-assessment questions. This assessment bit, where 10 questions are presented to the learners with 4 MCQ options, will help the learners concretize their learning. This is to help them not only understand the vocabulary for different kinship names, but also apply it. The systematic answering method of using the OMR sheet is encouraged. This will definitely help our learners practice for upcoming future competitive exams. Thank you and have a lovely time understanding your family and your kinship names.